So taking a look at another kind of visual theme, motif, whatever word you use to describe the idea of these symbols reappearing in different films or videos that we make. One of them is hands, the imagery of hands. I would say growing up in a household where my mom was a sculpture artist, amongst other mediums as well, I would love to watch her hands making art. It was just so powerful to watch them move and hold the art, almost like it was a person, the warmth. It wasn't only highly technical skill, which is critical, but besides that, there was this warmth that was going into each piece she made. That was a visual lesson about learning about art for me.
달밤 아래 화상에 가꾸어진 손들 돌이킬 수 없는 같임 나타내는 수많은 아이들
Another important, informative experience for me was working as a therapist. And I was working with somebody who had an experience as a refugee coming from Europe that had undergone war. And this individual, she shared back home, her profession was a doctor, actually a surgeon. And part of her work during the war was serving army soldiers that were seriously injured, and she was a surgeon to try to save them. And in the therapy session, she looked at me and she asked, hey Jonas, what's the most important thing in the medical world? And I was silent because she's a surgeon and with a lot of experience. I was a relatively new therapist. I said, I just don't know. And then she looked at me again. And she had a pause, this quiet, beautiful pause. And then she said, it's human touch. Human touch is the most important part of medicine, of healing. There was that special moment in the air when she was conveying her life wisdom with me through her experience. And I just imagined how many people she had tried to save and hopefully did save. That stuck with me in different ways. And this other film, getting back to the film world, is called Manos. And this takes place at a little cafe in Chicago, a really nice small cafe. And the protagonist, Mort, was in the cafe and just getting overwhelmed with feeling the pressure to make a decision. You can get this donut, or you're gonna get that donut. Is this sweet enough, or shouldn't it be too sweet? And just gets so overwhelmed, and the people behind him are like, let's go, we have a life, can't wait all day. Eventually, Mort just collapsed to the floor in the cafe, which leads him to another state of consciousness, and he ends up in a dreamlike world by the beach, by the water. And there's a place in Chicago where there are these chessboards that are right by Lake Michigan, where people will gather around and play just for fun. And so he ends up there, and he's kind of playing chess, which looks like with himself, but it's this kind of competitiveness to it. There's the sound, and even there were sounds that Jason, the sound designer, used of war, because maybe another form of competition in a very extreme, deadly form is war. So it was this idea that trauma is part of us again, even in the peaceful moments by a beach, that's still in our unconscious. So we come back to the cafe scene where he's waking up from his dream, or from his unconsciousness, kind of stuck there. And they're the people who are in the big rush to get to work, to play basketball, or to do their thing. They're there to help Mort to come back up again. And it's this coming together of the different hands of our peoples, our city, coming together to help each other, was the hope that we wanted to share, along the lines that the doctor shared with me about touch being a form of healing. Yeah, moving a little bit in a sideways direction. Besides just showing these short films, we want to encourage people to have their own artful experience. And we sometimes use hands to kind of foster this idea where people will trace their hand, and they'll kind of draw in color or write things that are really important to them. So like each finger in a way becomes like a root, and they can write in maybe it's family or friend that keeps them rooted and in touch with themselves. So we've had the fortune of doing this at places in the city of Chicago, like UIC and others, and just to kind of keep this feeling going of connectivity and the beauty of our individualities overlapping to create a greater aesthetic that has all of us interwoven in different ways.